Okay, this is day 3 of notes on solving exponential equations, and we are going to do a couple problems to start with that are actually problems you already know how to do, but I'm going to show you a second way of doing it because this second way will help us understand this third method. Okay, so if you were to solve this before today, this equation, you would say the log base 3 of 8 equals x, because remember this 3 is your base, these two switch sides of the equal sign. So in our calculator, you would do math, option A, log base 3 of 8, get a decimal, 1.893. Okay, so that's the old way, which is very valid. And if you are on a standardized test and you have to solve this, do it that way. But I want to show you this other approach because this is going to help us with some other stuff later. So another option is that you can take the log of both sides. So I can say the log of 3x equals the log of 8. Now notice I didn't put a base on this log because I can make any number to be my base as long as the same. I can make them both base 4, base 3, it doesn't matter, but I don't want to overcomplicate things. So I want the most basic one, which is a log base 10. And when it's base 10, you don't write that invisible 10. Just like when it's in square root, you don't write that invisible 2 there. It's just there. Okay, now log 8 is a number. I could put that in a calculator and get a decimal for that, but I can't do that with log 3 to the x because of that exponent. But if we use our exponent properties, I can move that x to the front and rewrite this as x times the log of 3 equals the log of 8. So to solve this equation, I'm going to divide both sides by the log of 3. And now I'm going to put this into my calculator. Let's see what happens. So in my calculator, in the numerator, I'm going to have log of 8. Is that what I said was on top? Yep. Okay. Now notice I got to close this parentheses because if I don't, it's going to give me a problem because I'm dividing. Divided by the log of 3. Close your parentheses. It will matter on this one. Okay, and I divide. Oh my gosh, it's the same thing. 1.893. Okay, not a coincidence. It's supposed to happen that way. Let's try this again. Okay, because I want you to learn this new method to help us with something else. Okay, so if I were to solve this the old way, I would say log base 5 of 38 equals 2x. But now I need to solve for x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and now that's what I'm putting in my calculator. So in my calculator, now when I do this, my calculator doesn't understand order of operations that well, so I want to put the numerator in parentheses so it understands all of that's in parentheses, and then I'm dividing my answer by 2. So I'm going to start my parentheses, and then I'm going to go to math, option A, and I've got log base 5 of 38. Okay, get out of the parentheses. Now this parentheses right here on the right is closing the parentheses on the 38, but I need to close the parentheses on the numerator, so I'm going to have one more. And parentheses come in pairs. You have to have a left and a right, so you can't have an odd number of parentheses. It won't work. And divide by 2, and I get 1.130. Okay, now let's see what happens if we do it the new way. So I'm going to take the log of both sides. So I have log of 5 to the 2x equals the log of 38. Okay, again, log of 38 is a number, but log 5 to the 2x is not because I've got this variable. So using my properties, I'm going to move the 2x to the front. So I'm going to say 2x log 5 equals log 38. Now I want to solve for x and get x by itself. Now remember, all of these things are multiplied together. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 2, but I'm also going to divide by the log of 5. And now the 2 cancels and the 5 cancels. So I get x equals this whole thing, and I'm going to put that in the calculator. Now again, parentheses for the top, parentheses for the bottom. So in my calculator, parentheses for the top, and I want log 38, close parentheses for the log, close the parentheses for the numerator, divided by 2 times the log of 5, close the parentheses. Ooh, what did I forget? I forgot that other parentheses. So I'm going to go back over here Oops, I hit too many times. And I'm going to hit this button. Where did it go? I haven't used it in a while. Insert. It's right above the delete. So I'm going to hit second insert, and it puts a space in there. Okay, so I can hit parentheses, and then I've got the 2 log 5. Okay, hit enter. Oh my gosh, it's the same. 1.130. Okay, now I want to do one with a natural log, so you can see that's the same as well, and then we're going to try a couple solving. Okay, so if this is e to the x, we would rewrite this as log base e of 7 equals x. But log base e is the natural log, so the natural log of 7 equals x. So in my calculator, the natural log of 7, 1.946. All right, now we want to do it the new way. Well, anytime you see e, you want to think natural log. So I'm going to take the natural log of e to the x equals the natural log of 7. Again, you got to move that exponent. So when I move that exponent, I have x times the natural log of e equals the natural log of 7. Divide by the natural log of e, and now you're thinking, okay, clearly these can't, the natural log of 7 can't be the same as the natural log of 7 divided by e. Mrs. Shonman finally messed up, or I just messed up for the first time today. Let's see what happens. Numerator, natural log of 7 divided by denominator, natural log of e. Remember, e is above the division symbol. Second e, close parentheses again, enter. Oh my gosh, it's the same. So we get 1.946. So why is it the same? What number can you divide anything by and still get the same thing? 1. So, new thing we learned, the natural log of e always equals 1. So if you're doing a problem and the natural log of e should come up, you essentially kind of just cancel it out because it just means 1. Okay, these are a little tricky. I'm only going to do 2 of them. There's only 2 in your homework. And remember, Monday is a review day, so clearly we're going to do some more of these on Monday. All right, so how are we going to do this? Well, first, I'm going to take the log of both sides. So I have the log of 5, x plus 1, equals the log of 3x. Okay, now, we did some on Wednesday where they look like this, but we could make the 5 and the 3 have a common base. We could rewrite them. We cannot rewrite 5 and 3, so we have to work with them. That's why I have to do the logs. Okay, so now I'm going to move these exponents out front. So when I do that, the x plus 1 has to stay in parentheses. So I have x plus 1 times the log of 5 equals x. I don't need a parentheses here. Apologize. X times the log of 3. Okay, well, how am I going to solve this? Well, the first thing you're going to have to do is distribute. Yuck. So I have x times the log of 5, and then 1 times the log of 5 would just be the log of 5. Well, anytime we solve, equals x times the log of 3. Anytime we solve equations, we have to get the x's together. So to move it to the other side, I have to subtract x times the log of 5. Now, you cannot say it's log of negative 2 or anything like that. They're not really, they're kind of like, well, you just can't combine them. I don't know what to tell you other than that. You just can't combine them. So when I rewrite it, I have log of 5 equals x log of 3 minus x log of 5. Okay, so somehow I got to get the x by itself. So what we're going to do, as weird as this sounds, is we're going to factor that log out. So I'm going to say log of 5 equals x. And if I take an x out of both of those, I'm going to be left with log of 3 minus log of 5. Okay, we're getting closer, but to put this in our calculator, it might be helpful if we combine those, and we're going to combine them using our log properties. Minus meant what? I hope you remember it means division. So I have log of 5 equals x. Combine them, so it's going to be the log of 3 divided by 5. Oh, I told you this was weird. Okay, now to solve for x, we're going to divide by the log of 3 over 5. And this monstrosity is what we're going to try and put in our calculator. That's the exact answer. How weird is that? All right, so in the numerator, we've got the log of 5. Okay, divided by, in the denominator, we have the log of 3/5. Close the parentheses on the log, close the parentheses on the denominator. You get negative 3.151. And that is your answer. Okay, I know it's weird, and this video has gotten longer than most of the other videos. So if you feel like you can do this, you don't need to watch the last example. If you want another example, here's another example. And then I'm going to stop. We're not going to do this third one. We're going to do more later. Okay, take the log of both sides. Move the exponents out. So that gives me in parentheses x plus 2 times the log of 3 equals x times the log of 4. Next step, distribute. X times the log of 3 plus 2 times the log of 3 equals x log of 4. Move the x logs together. Subtract x log of 3 from both sides. So I get 2 log of 3 equals x log of 4 minus x log of 3. Oh, I'm running out of space. Ignore this one. Okay, so now what do? Got to factor out the x. So I have 2 log of 3. Just kidding, I forgot to write the 3. 2 log of 3 equals, take out the x. And this is going to give me the log of 4 minus the log of 3. Okay, simplify using your properties. The log of 3 equals x. Minus means division, so the log of 4 divided by the log of 3. Want to get x by itself, I'm going to divide. Oh, isn't that crazy? Now, here's my numerator. Here's my denominator. Let's see if we can get this in our calculator. So the numerator, 2 log of 3, close the parentheses on the log, close the parentheses on the numerator, divided by denominator, log of 4/3. So we do log, parentheses, 4 divided by 3, close parentheses on log, close parentheses on denominator, 7.638. Okay, on your homework, try the 2 hard ones. When we get back together on Monday, we're going to do the hard ones together on Zoom, and then you'll have another chance to practice them in the notes and the homework. You can do this. Don't freak out. I know it's the hardest thing we've done, but I promise you I'm not going to leave you out hanging. You're going to be okay. See you on Monday. Have a good day.